Hey there. So glad you're joining me for today's explainer. You know, in a story or in real life, people don't just say things. He said, she said. Well, that can get a little boring, right? But think about it. The way someone speaks tells you exactly how they feel inside. And today, we're going to look really closely at that.
Ask yourself, when someone is talking to you, are they angry? Are they shy? Nervous? Or maybe they're sharing a secret? English has a specific, single word for each of these feelings. By the end of this explainer, you are going to learn 5 exact words for how people really speak. And make sure to stick around, because the very last word is the one you will definitely hear or even use when someone is super nervous.
Let's start with a quiet, unhappy way to speak. The word is mutter. 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 Say it with me slowly. Mutter. To mutter means to speak in a low, quiet voice, usually because you're annoyed or complaining about something. It is often said right under your breath. That means you are speaking so quietly it's not really meant for other people to hear clearly. Now, let's picture this feeling together. Imagine a scene. Someone is losing an argument. They are very upset, they turn around, and they just start walking away. As they walk, they are quietly talking to themselves in a dark, unhappy voice. They are muttering. Can you feel that quiet annoyance?
Let's look at some simple examples together. He muttered something rude and left. She muttered under her breath. Stop muttering and speak up. Now imagine you just finished a really long, hard day at work and you drop your keys on the ground. You might say, he muttered about how tired he was. Or if your brother is complaining quietly about washing the dishes, you could say, he muttered the whole time he was cleaning.
Now, let's look at a word that sounds similar, but means something very different. Mumble. 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 To mumble is to speak unclearly and too quietly so people cannot understand you. But, and this is important, it's not because you are angry. Usually, it's just because of shyness, or maybe you aren't opening your mouth enough when you speak.
Picture this everyday moment. A shy student is sitting in class. The teacher asks them a question. The student answers, but they are looking straight down at the floor, speaking very, very quietly. You can only catch maybe half of their words. They are mumbling. And please remember, if you sometimes mumble when you are nervous speaking English, that is completely normal. Every single person does it when they are learning.
Let's practice with these clear examples. He mumbled his answer. Don't mumble, I can't hear you. Now imagine you are just waking up in the morning and you are very sleepy. You might use this word. She mumbled good morning while rubbing her eyes. Or, if a friend is talking with their hand covering their mouth, you'd say, he mumbled behind his hand.
So let's make the difference between these two words crystal clear, so you never mix them up. Mutter is quiet and annoyed. You are angry. Mumble is simply unclear, maybe because you are shy or tired. Don't forget that. Mutter is an angry feeling, while mumble is just an unclear sound. Now let's move to a word that is even quieter. Whisper. 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 Say it nice and softly. To whisper means to speak very softly, using almost no voice from your throat so that only the person right next to you can hear. This quiet speaking is completely intentional. You are doing it on purpose. Picture this close, quiet scene in your mind. 2 good friends are sitting together in a very quiet library. Their heads are leaning in close together. They are sharing a secret that absolutely no one else in the room should hear. That beautiful, soft, careful speaking, that is a whisper. Here are our simple examples. She whispered a secret in my ear. They whispered so the baby wouldn't wake up. Let's add a couple more everyday situations. Imagine you are in a dark movie theater and the movie is playing. You would say, he whispered, asking for some popcorn. Or, imagine being in a classroom during a quiet test. You could say, she whispered to borrow a pencil. This brings us to a really specific difference. Mumble means you are being unclear completely by accident. You really didn't mean to be hard to hear. But whisper means you are soft and quiet entirely on purpose. You want to be quiet because you are sharing a secret.
All right, now let's look at the exact opposite of being careful. This is for words that escape your mouth before you can even stop them. The word is blurt. 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 To blurt something out is to say it suddenly without thinking at all before you can stop yourself.
This is a pretty funny, sudden feeling to picture. Imagine someone is hiding in a dark room, waiting to jump out for a surprise party. But before the birthday girl even turns on the lights, someone accidentally shouts out,
It's a surprise. They just couldn't hold it in. The words jumped out before they had any chance to stop themselves.
Let's read these examples slowly to really feel this sudden action. She blurted out the answer. I didn't mean to say it, it just blurted out. Imagine you're trying to keep a secret about a present, but you get way too excited. You could say, he blurted out what he bought for her birthday. Or think of an eager student in class. The excited student blurted out the right answer without raising his hand.
Let's compare these two. Whisper is careful, quiet, and planned. Blurt is sudden, loud, unplanned, and has absolutely no filter. They are complete opposites in how you control your words.
And our final word today is for when speaking feels very, very hard. Stammer. 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 To stammer means to speak with a lot of difficulty. You might repeat sounds or completely stop in the middle of a word. This usually happens because you are very nervous, scared, or upset.
Picture someone sitting in a very important job interview. They are so incredibly nervous that when they try to answer a simple question, they say, I think so. That tense, difficult speaking is a stammer. And I want to gently remind you right now, if you ever stammer when you speak English, be kind to yourself. It simply means you care very much about doing a good job.
Let's read these final examples together clearly. He stammered out an apology. She was so nervous she started to stammer. Imagine someone who is very afraid of dogs, and a big dog runs right up to them. You might say, he stammered when the large dog barked. Or think about asking someone on a date for the very first time. You could say, she stammered as she asked him to coffee. Let's highlight the clear difference here. Blurt means the words escape way too fast and sudden, but stammer means the words are held back, broken, and slow because of deep nervousness.
Do you remember how we started this explainer? We talked about how people don't just say things. Listen to this sentence now. He muttered angrily. She whispered a secret, and the nervous boy stammered his reply. Do you see how knowing these 5 words completely transforms a boring story into a colorful, emotional one? You can actually hear the feelings behind the words now.
Okay, let's review all 5 words so you never forget them. Mutter, to speak low and annoyed. He muttered something rude. Mumble, to speak unclearly and quietly. He mumbled his answer. Whisper, to speak softly on purpose. She whispered a secret. Blurt, to say something suddenly without thinking. She blurted out the answer. And stammer, to speak with difficulty from nerves. He stammered out an apology. So, in short, mutter is annoyed, mumble is unclear, whisper is a secret, blurt is unplanned, and stammer is nervous.
Now, what is the absolute best way to lock these words in your memory forever? Here are 2 simple steps. Step 1, shadow me. That means saying every word and every sentence out loud right after I say it. Step 2, watch this explainer once a day for 3 days in a row. This simple, easy habit completely beats the forgetting curve and makes this vocabulary yours for good.
Before we say goodbye today, I have a small challenge for you. Which one of these do you do the most when you are tired or nervous? Do you mutter, mumble, whisper, blurt, or stammer? Tell me in the comments below. I personally mumble a lot when I'm feeling sleepy. Keep practicing, follow Learn 5 English Words a Day, and come back tomorrow for 5 more. See you then.